Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inside Out podcast with Sahas and Ali. This is our first ever attempt to actually talk our inside and out to you guys. So, welcome to the show. And basically, the point of having this podcast is to, just get it out there. And you know, we are evolving as I'm evolving as Ali is or anyone else is. So, over the course of this podcast, over the course of this journey, we are all going to evolve together. And all that evolution is what we are going to share in this podcast. Ali,
Yeah,
over to
yeah,
you.
100%. Basically, to give you a little more background on this, Sahas and I are from a common background. We both have very common stories. We faced that stereotype growing up, and we decided to kind of break out of it and make a story that's different to what we were told as kids. And I feel like a lot of people, especially in the West, they might not have the same stereotype, but they have the same upbringing, and they fall down in this pattern of life which gets kind of mundane, and I find it very bothersome because you grow up, you get a job, you come home, you have kids, we watch TV, there's not much going on. We wanted to kind of break that and really break down each part of in this podcast of what you can do and what we can do and how we can grow as individuals. And it is the podcast is going to be talking more about um, yes, we'll be talking about business, we'll be talking about joint ventures and real estate, marketing, all that fun stuff, but mostly also on mindset, which is a big problem a lot of people face in physical health as well. I mean, I'm no like six pack model, but that's still something I aspire to be and I'm working on. And Sahas, as you can tell, is a very active guy. And that's something we really want to break down on this podcast.
Yeah, and also Ali, it's more about getting real with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
not falling in the shadows of the social media or what other people are doing in that kind of a way. Also, because I think a lot of people also get lost into the identity crisis, and something that I also want to touch upon because who you really are. Like, let's get real. Let's get raw and unfiltered about like who are you inside.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I really feel about it. Like whenever even I'm talking to somebody and I'm introducing myself and saying, hey, just like that, saying, hey, I'm Sahas and I'm a computer engineer. Fuck that. I'm not defined by my profession,
Right.
right? I am defined by the kind of a person I am.
Mm-hmm.
And do you even know that we get into that mundane, uh, surreal reality, you could say, the virtual reality of saying that, we have just been grown up in such a way, in such a fashion that it becomes a default idea of introducing
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. Let's start changing that. Let's start changing from that. Let's begin from that and
Yeah.
then further.
Exactly. Like I want to touch base on that real quick because if someone says, "Give me a 10-second pitch on you," you'd say, "I'm a doctor or engineer." I mean, no, that's your profession, but give me a 10-second pitch about who you are as a person. A lot of people confuse their occupation as something they are. No, that's something you do. But who are you as a person? That's something we really need to kind of figure out, and that's something we all need to figure out because we're all on this journey. And giving a 10-second pitch saying I'm a doctor, a lawyer, or engineer, you know that's not enough. There's more to you than that.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, it's only that. I mean, if you, the reason why I say this question, why I say it, because it gets you into momentum of, getting out of the zone that you are in and actually trying to think, give your brain a little bit of uh, hurdle and tell that, okay, now it really need to dig deep into understanding who am I. So I
Mm-hmm.
think really, really, it is really important for you to understand and ask more questions. Why? Ask more whys. Why are we even doing that? Why am I even saying that? So
Right.
that is something that I think we really need to uh, get to be touching upon on this podcast. And I think it's going to be really interesting because I want to keep it as raw as possible. I'm going to,
Exactly.
just go with the
Yeah.
flow and going to be, it's just like going to be inside out. What do you
Exactly. 100%. Because we all have two sides, right? We have our inside mind and we have how we perceive ourselves outside. So we want to take all that. Who are you as a person inside? and who do you want to be as a person outside. So we kind of want to bring all that out and jumble that into this raw podcast. I'm really excited because there's so many things you can touch upon. One really, like, obviously COVID-19 has affected a lot of people, but we'll also talk about that, how that's been affecting a lot of people mentally and physically. Gyms that are closed, everyone's working from home, people are getting laid off. So what do you do in that time? So there's so many topics to cover in this podcast, and I'm really excited to get on it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Ali, everything drills down to the mindset, right? Like,
Hmm.
even if you have to do anything, even if it is a job, even if it is a business, even if it is working out or reading a book or anything, everything drills down to the mindset. Like, how do you channelize your mind into
Hmm.
bringing the best out of the things that you want to do? So it's all about channelizing. And to be honest, I'm no guru. I'm no
Hmm.
mentor in a way that I've figured it out, and I'm also on the journey like as you are in. And then with the time, I'm just sharing it. It's just like documenting my thoughts, and which is why I really love the idea of podcast. That I'm just going to be documenting everything. If I change my mind over the period of time, I'm going to share it. But right
Hmm.
now, this is what it is.
100%, man. So let's break this down. Let's tell me about you, Sahas. Like, I know we've spoken about this a lot earlier, and I know you very well. But give us a little pitch about yourself.
Well, I like to be called as a hustler, not as a computer engineer. The reason why I say that because I really believe that a person is known by the kind of person or the way that you want to be
Mhm.
recognized. So just yesterday, I was browsing through what are the three core values that I really believe in, and I came out with three things that defines me very well. One is courage.
Mhm.
By the way, my name also means Sahas, which is courage,
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
which means courage.
Mhm.
Another is having a connection. So I really, really believe that we as humans have a lot of things to give and share. And, it's our eternal duty to have, you know, make something, be humble to others. So make that connection. So I really believe in doing that. And I think it's more about creativity is what I really am. I'm creative person from
Mhm.
inside is what really defines me. So it's triple C: creative, courage, and having connections. That is me.
Mhm.
I'm not defined by my computer engineering. I'm not defined by my digital marketing or real estate investment, whatever that
Mhm.
is. But this is what my core values are.
Yeah.
I'm from India. I moved to Canada 1.5 years back,
Mhm.
and it's been a fantastic journey, and I can't get over it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Now, what about?
So so just like Sahas, I'm from Pakistan, moved here around 2012, so that's been 8 years. Journey has been amazing. You talked about how you had the three C's, your values. I honestly think that should be your values should be what defines you, not your job, not your designation. It's your values as a person. So you said, like, I like that you said you're a hustler. I do. Uh, I would be careful in describing myself as a hustler because I'm more, yes, hustle is important, but right now I'm on a journey of self discovery, which is something I've been working on for a while. For the last couple of years, I was just going with the flow, doing what people tell me, getting a job, getting like
Mm.
going to school, getting a loan. And now I really sat back and said, this is not what my values are. And so the last few years, last year and a half, I've been really exploring real estate and digital marketing. But those again are just hustles, side hustles. And even though I love those things, I've been focusing more lately on discovering myself as a person more. So that's, um, yes, I mean, my end goal is to become a real estate investor in the next 4 or 5 years, where I own properties where I can retire from passive income, as well as focus more on a digital marketing aspect where I help my clients and my future clients, which is what I'm doing right now. But at the same time, I want to figure out who I am as a person,
Yeah.
what my real values are, and those are the hardest to find. So I might be a little early on the journey, but I know that's something I have to take. I see that you've already found your values, which is really something. It's a blessing if you know who you are. I think you can set yourself up for a lot of success. So that's something I'm kind of working on, finding out who am I, what is Ali, who is Ali, and what is he like? Is he an entrepreneur? Is he a hustler? Is he a hermit? Uh, what does he stand by? So those are the things that I've been kind of focusing on more recently. And yeah, wish me luck. Let's see how that goes.
No, man, I think we're all in on a journey, and me finding my values doesn't still give me enough of knowledge about myself that
Mm-hmm.
as if I have discovered everything about myself. I think we're all in on the journey, and that you're writing your own stories,
Yeah.
right? And the story never ends until you just go away and
Mm-hmm.
you die. So your every part of the journey is being written. So for me, like when I say I'm a hustler, when I say that I've moved from India, you've moved from Pakistan, we're all writing our own stories, right?
Exactly.
And we are just redefining everything,
Mm-hmm.
evolving with time. I wasn't the same kind of a person what I was 5 years back or 2 years back. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, my wife says I wasn't the same person just when I moved to Canada. In 10 days I changed. She
Wow.
said that just in the first 10 days you were a different person, and after 10 days I'm a different person.
Adapted,
Right.
improvised.
Yeah. and
Mm-hmm.
and I believe it's the kind of what life brings you as, like, in terms of opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
or uh, I mean, you could call it adversities, but then again, it's how you look at it. A lot of people are going through a lot of stuff, which is real. I can't deny that, like, what all things are happening because of COVID. But if you keep on looking at the calamities, or you look at the adversities, when would you take out time to look at the opportunities?
Yeah, I agree.
If you just keep on dwelling into the past, that, oh, those were the good times, oh, I'm still
Yeah.
waiting for normalcy, or something has to change in today's time. I totally get it, we all do.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you even doing at the present situation to get out of it?
Exactly.
What the question you need to ask. So it's
Mm-hmm.
asking more wise,
Yeah,
right?
man. I like that what you said because that's actually a very, I got into a lot of human psychology a while back and figured out what makes a person function better than the other when it comes to, let's say, mental health. People that suffer from depression, let's say, versus people that don't. There's a very strict, different type of mentality. So, and again, this is something I'm just super high level. There's a lot more to it, but a person with more, let's say, who's looking at calamities is tends to be more depressed. A person that is much more intuitive in the sense where, okay, there are calamities, but hey, at least I get to work from home today. Or hey, yeah, gyms are closed, but I get to spend time with my family, which is something I never had. So like always seeing the shiny like little gold coin or pearl in the shipwreck, that's something that really changes your mindset. And it's not something everyone's born with. It's something you develop habitually, right? And I find I've been trying to do that more and more. I can say it has helped me out. And anyone listening, if you're really struggling with the situation, I know it's tough for everyone, but just writing down a couple of things you're grateful for today, or something that nice happened, it really changes perspective. And there's studies that show there's long-term benefits to that.
Yeah, man. Ali, you said absolutely right. Like, gratitude is really must.
Mm-hmm.
Just be grateful of whatever you have, whatever you do, what of these small things, as much as, like, talking about, like, this, we are breathing, we are
Mm-hmm.
living, we got to see another day.
Yeah.
We just take it for granted. I know that, okay, we are supposed to forget it, but why are
Mm-hmm.
we supposed to just take it for granted and say we are even breathing? Actually, you not know when is going to be your last breath.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
why
it must
take
be.
it for granted? Be thankful for little things. You don't have to be thankful for, today I really got best deal of my life, so I'm really grateful. That's
Yeah.
okay. That's
Hmm.
the big one. That's a material stuff. But what about the day-to-day things for anyone that you have in your life, your parents, the parents'
Hmm.
health, your wife's health, your friends,
Right.
the kind of
Ex-
people that you are connected with.
yeah, like for example, if you think about, let's say, um, pretend, let's say you just found out from a doctor that you have an incurable disease and you're set to die or pass away in the next 100 days. You would, in that position, you would dread that you didn't take those moments of life, for granted. You would wish you could go back to the way things were, even if it's COVID, even if the gyms are closed, even if you're fired, you have nothing. You would wish you could go back to that. So honestly, contentment, I know, and being grateful is relevant for everyone, but it's taking the smallest things, like you said, breathing today could be your last breath,
Yeah.
things like you never know what's going to happen around the corner, and just be grateful. And it really, and it doesn't mean that because you're grateful you're going to forget about the troubles. No, that just means you're grateful and you're enjoying the moment,
Mm.
but you're also working towards improving and changing things in the future.
It's important to verbalize few things. That's just what I believe. It's
Hmm.
important to bring it live.
Yeah.
That you experience those things. You make that kind of a balance because in our minds we're always thinking, oh, I have so much stuff to do. I have a lot of stress. I have so many projects in the place, and or maybe I don't have any projects in the place. So depending whatever your life situation is, but then again you have so many things going on. And by the way, even I go through all these things. It's not that like I've gone through them and I don't have those feelings. I mean,
Hmm.
I feel the same way, but it's just that just believing and saying that you really just taking out time like 2 minutes and saying I'm really thankful for the next breath that I have today.
Yeah.
Really thankful that I could see the day today.
Exactly. Or even small mundane things like this cup of coffee tastes so good. I'm so happy I can, have coffee today because I love coffee. Anything.
Right. Exactly. So what are you up to now, Ali? Like, how do you plan to spend your day like?
Right. So I find that because, well, luckily today I'm have a day off, so I get to do a lot of things. But in general, I find that having a routine really sets things up for me for um, what I would say would be one, contentment, and just getting things done. So for me, what I usually do is, yes, I get up in the morning, I have my morning routine, go to work, have lunch at work, come back, and the next 6 hours I have, 6 to 8 hours I have from work till I go to sleep. I have a routine that I follow, and I find that having that routine really helps you get things done, but as well as just like avoid you from that mental trap of feeling, let's say, not good enough, or feeling that you could do better, or feeling that, oh, I don't want to, or just like, I don't want to do it today, or I want to lie in bed. Because we all go through those phases where you just feel lazy or unmotivated or even down in the dust. Some people have severe depression as well, which is a problem. But I find that having something to do, just having a routine, it really helps. So what I do usually is when I come back, um, you know I have my de-stressing hour. That's what I do to de-stress for the entire day.
What
You
do you do?
know,
Stressing
so
yourself.
usually I read. I love reading, listening to, like, watching really interesting videos, such as like I'm a bit of a science geek, so I really enjoy watching videos on this things like psychology, the universe, how things work. Um, and then I try not to watch a lot of negative things around. Um, so and so people died today from COVID. I keep that out. There's always a day and time for that. But when I'm de-stressing, I want positivity only. Afterwards, I found it really helpful, and I know it's expensive for some people, but I find it really helpful if you hire a coach at the gym. And what I do is I allocated a budget for my physical and mental health every month, and I use that all the time. So I have a coach. I go there. He helps me with a lot of things, working out, and I find it that if you have a coach, it really pushes you to the max. There's no, he doesn't let you slack off, which I love.
Yeah.
So I get my ass kicked at the gym every time I go there. Afterwards, I come back. That's when I'm re-energized, really you know, full of like energy, want to do something, that's when I really get things done.
Mm.
That's the moment when I actually start, okay, so I have these things I want to do. I want to write a podcast, I want to write a blog, I want to make a podcast, I want to design a website or buy this real estate, whatever. That's when I started working. And those 3 to 4 hours I have left in the day are so productive because I followed a routine and I followed it for so long that it's become normal.
Yeah.
And I find that, yes, because you won't get amazing things done in 1 or few days, but I find that because I've been doing that for so and so long, I've seen a lot of progress. And it's just normal now, you know. A few people tell me, oh, how do you manage time, or how do you go to the gym when after work, or how do you fit this in or fit that in? I'm like, one step at a time.
Mm.
Go for a run if you have to, go for a walk. That's how I started. I hated the gym, but I started by taking a walk around the block. I started then doing a couple of push-ups at home, and then eventually I got to a point where I hired a coach because I noticed that the more I did of these, the more better I felt about myself mentally and physically. And it's amazing how these things are connected. I mean, we'll talk about that a lot more, the science behind that. But just taking a small step towards your physical health will yield a lot of long-term benefits.
Right. You
What
said,
about,
go
mhm.
ahead.
Yeah, what about you? I'm interested in your routine.
Yeah, I'll talk about mine, but what you really, I liked what you really touched upon was on the accountability factor, what your mentor, your coach gives you,
Hmm.
you hire a coach. So I think having that kind of an accountability really helps you to, just get things done, getting shit done,
Exactly.
extending your own capacity. Maybe if you were doing it all by yourself, you were doing it. I wouldn't deny that you weren't doing it, but then again, you are not pushing yourself to that extent.
Exactly. Exactly.
So your
Hmm.
that accountability factor jumps in, and that really pushes you hard.
Yeah,
So
no, I agree, because think about it this way: like, you're paying someone to who's waiting at the gym for you. You can't be late. You have to be on time, and you have to do your warm ups and everything before. If I had no one waiting for me, I'd be like, oh, I'll probably go 10, 20 minutes later. Oh, I think I've done enough. I'll go home. Like, there's always something that comes up. But when I'm at the gym and I have a coach who I've willingly paid for and who has his best interest in me, he has like one rule is like, when you're with me, you're with me, and this is where we work out. Everything else, deal at home. So I'm 100% physically there and mentally there, and that really changes everything. Same thing if you have, let's say, a coach for your mental health, like a therapist or a psychologist. No distractions. You go there, you let things out. He tells you how things are because you're paying him for. I know, I understand, having friends really does help. Having family helps, but having someone who tells you things in a more unbiased way, as it is, as it should be, really also helps.
yeah, sharing really helps, and I believe, and it's okay. I believe that not everybody would be open to the idea of coach or anything like that right away, or counseling or anything of that sort. If you have a friend, if you think that you have been really good friends from very long and you really understand each other, this would be the time to test that also. Share your stuff.
Hmm.
Maybe the person is not able to give you the right direction, but you're just getting it out of your system. It's really
Yeah.
important. Get it out of
Hmm.
the system. So, like, I know a lot of times I blab a lot with my wife, and I'm not really looking for any validation. I'm not looking for any, uh, you know, counseling or consultation, or though she's really good at it. But what I do is just to get it out of my system so that I don't have to, be on the cycle of that thought, which is actually, just draining my mind and energy. I don't
Hmm.
want to be on that. I've been on that hamster wheel. I've been depressed. I've been through all that shit. And what I've realized is the more I share, is more I'm going to better I'm going to
Yeah.
do the things that I do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do notice that the more power you give like a negative thought, the
Yeah.
more stronger it gets. And that is something you have to be careful of. Like, how much attention are you giving your negative thoughts, right?
Yeah. And you have to get it out of your system, man. This is a totally,
Hmm.
like, the moment start having, and trust me, there are so many moments that everyone has. And I mean, like I said, I'm no guru. Nobody is that
Hmm.
perfect. And you cannot even lead to that perfection. But what you could do is just get into a habit which actually, dissolves the negative side of the
Yeah.
things. That's it.
Hmm.
Just try to, balance it out with the other things that you do, so that but the quantity for that increases over time, and you don't have to focus on the negativity at all.
Exactly. I find that even small things like journaling your thoughts down a few minutes a night
I'm going to
really
start
helps.
doing that.
Yeah, man, it's a game changer because it shows how like small thing your problems really are, when you write them down.
I've done it quite like very infrequently though. I've done it like 2 3 times. In fact, I did it day before yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think now is the time that I really need to start doing it on a regular basis. I do have time to get down to my goals every night before I sleep. I write down my goals every day. I delete them before sleeping. I write them
Oh,
again.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason why I do that so that I memorize them. I should
Mm-hmm.
know it, what I need to do. So I don't need to check them. I'll see what all the goals are,
Mm-hmm.
delete it, and rewrite them again so that I'm
Interesting.
always remembering what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's their tasks for the day and goals you need to achieve for a week. That's fine. But then again, I think gratitude is just like journaling is just like gratitude. And I think
Basically,
we should do that.
it's
And
interesting. I find that a lot of science behind this is strong on this as well. Just writing the things you want to do. Uh, I don't know the exact method, but it does something. It really changes your intention subconsciously. I've noticed ever since I've started writing things that I wanted in
like
my life.
putting that on the universe, right? It just
Exactly.
like if like Mark Smith, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he says that uh he wants to be a fucking billionaire. He's just getting it out on in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And saying that, I think it's so powerful. It really doesn't matter what age, what time, when is he going to do it. But I think just getting it out on a regular basis and with full conviction is
Yeah.
what you start believing, and the whole cosmos starts working towards it because
Mm-hmm.
it's a positive impact that you're just verbalizing it. You've put it
Mm-hmm.
out there.
Right. I'm not sure if you've seen The Secret or read about the book. It's something
I did.
I recommend that to everyone because a lot of people will say, "Oh, that's hocus pocus." That's not my take on it. My take on it is that the practice itself is so powerful, where you're visualizing, but not only that, but you're living in the moment where you feel like you can do this. So, for example, if I want a brand new car, a Mercedes, before I go to sleep, having a couple of minutes where I visualize that I'm actually driving that car, or I'm actually in that mood where I'm feeling that exhilaration of driving a sports car or a really expensive luxury car, that it's in itself is all you need. Um, there's no way where you visualize, you think, and it happens. No, the visualizing aspect makes you take action subconsciously, and you're not even aware of it.
And so the whole point is to like visualize because you believe it that it's
Mm-hmm.
going to happen. Another step is really important, which is taking an action because you believe it so much that you want to live into that reality, and you
Right.
want that reality, that virtual reality, to become a real reality. Then might as well fucking work towards it. So
Exactly.
I wouldn't deny a single factor if somebody says, oh, he's or she is a uh, you know uh, a millionaire, like somebody says, right? uh, Overnight
Yeah.
success. There is no overnight success. The recent one I was reading, Evan Carmichael, he is
Yes.
one of the motivation speakers and big YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
He said my overnight success took me 10 years. So
Interesting.
10 years of hard work. Now he is on, I think, 2.5 million subscribers on YouTube. And he said,
Okay.
overnight success took me 10 years. So there is no such thing as an overnight success. It takes hard work, it takes hustle, it takes
Yeah.
action. So don't look at the person by saying that, oh, he must have gotten on the platter. No, that's not true.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and there's no denying there are certain people that get it easily because obviously some people are born into wealth or some people have opportunities. But the average person, the average millionaire, you'll say, oh, he had it easy. Oh, there's an overnight success. You're not seeing the struggle they actually went through. You're not seeing the good habits they had to
For me,
install.
it's show me the day before it happened.
Exactly. Exactly. Show me like even a week before that happened. And I can tell you right now that it's not the case because it's not just you're changing your mindset or your work ethic, you're changing your lifestyle
Yeah.
to get to where you want to be. You're sacrificing so much that it's normal to you. You're waking up early, you're putting in late hours of work, that it's just who you are now. People don't see that. People see, oh, he got an opportunity, he made a big sale, he got a cool deal, and he's a millionaire. No, you're not seeing the thousands of sacrificed hours he put in to get there where he wants to be.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm glad that Ali, we uh, like talked on a bunch of topics today, and I'm really excited about this podcast
Yeah.
and what
Mm-hmm.
things that we're going to share. For me, it's a vent out, to be honest. For me, I'm considering it just like, I'm going to be sitting right next to the screen. I don't care if somebody's watching it or not or listening
Yeah,
to it or not. My point is to just get it out. And I'm going to evolve as this podcast evolves. I'm going to share my journey. You're going to share your journey.
exactly.
We're just documenting it, the
Mm-hmm.
way we have thought, the way we think, and how we perceive at this point of time. It might not be the same after a year from now. It might be something
Mm-hmm.
different. We might be talking something else. Also, I think it'd be great to bring on some guests on this podcast to have a different perspective as well. So I
I
think
agree. Yeah, I agree completely. I think people need to really hear more voices of others who are going through the same thing. And it's not just us. We're not just, you know, taking the shit out of our ass. Like, this is something that it's a lifestyle a lot of people have to adapt. And it's their mental, physical, financial, it's a whole triangle of a lifestyle. And I think the more people we bring on and the more we show to others that this is what they're doing, this is what, see, there's a common like equation. They're all doing the same thing. There's no overnight success. They're all doing the same thing, and yet they can all get there. You can take anyone from the most worst case scenario, and he can get there too.
exactly. And not only for the people out here in North America. It like I want to get it down there in India, Pakistan,
Exactly.
all to our family members, all the friends and everyone, so that it's time
Yeah,
to
I think break
this
the
shift.
stereotypes.
Yeah, that's
100%, man. I think it's high time somebody actually challenges the mindset we all, especially us, kind of grew up in, thinking that there's no other way but this. Like, for those listening, Sas and I have a very common background where you either go to school, you become a doctor, engineer, lawyer,
Oh, I have a
and
perfect example in my family. I'm an engineer.
yeah,
My father is a doctor.
there you go.
Yeah.
So it's luckily for us and our family, our parents weren't that strict, but I've seen a lot of people go through that in our circle of influence in growing up. That it's the daughter has to do this, the son has to do that, or they have to get married by this certain age. Like, it's time somebody challenges those thoughts. It's those are pre pressures from tradition, bought years and years ago, and I think it's time to break that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm glad that we're doing this, and just keep watching for the next one, which comes
Mhm.
I think, next week. We're doing it.
Next week. Yep. So what our plan is, we'll be making one podcast at least a week, and we're also testing different things. So you'll also get better quality as I get a new mic. I did shop around, could not find one, so it's on the way. We're also testing a few other topics you want to talk about, which I find and Sahas also finds very meaningful and more important as well. And also, there's the classic case we'll be talking about: business, real estate, marketing, all that fun stuff. It's all going to be inside out.
But everything starts with the mindset.
Exactly. You know what? Since you said that, I know we already said our goodbyes, but I just want to put this part in. Like, your mindset is, if you don't have the mindset, you're not going to be successful. Like, you can have all the money in the world in the lottery. You can win $500 million in lottery, and you're going to lose all that because you don't have the right mindset. That's how people lose all the lotteries they win, let's say, or the inheritance they get.
Because the psychology behind success is wrong at the first, at its inception itself, because having money is not just success.
Hmm.
So when you conquer this, everything, so having family,
Yeah,
having the right kind of people around you, having everything, the lifestyle, love, relations, what kind of an
hmm,
impact you're making, that is success. And money comes,
exactly.
it is the byproduct of whatever you're giving to the people and what you're working towards in your between these years.
Exactly. You can take someone from the worst situation, a war-torn country, let's say, face the worst things, but if he has the right mindset, there's nothing stopping him. And I've seen that personally. I've seen people crawl from shitholes to multi-million dollar success stories because they changed their mindset.
Yeah. I'm really excited about this, man. Let's
Hmm.
do it again. And thank you so much for listening, whoever was listening till this time. And
Hmm.
stay tuned for the next one, which is going to happen next week. And welcome to the Inside Out
Welcome
podcast.
to the Inside Out. See you guys soon. This is exciting.
All
Take
right.
care.
Take care.